What is one thing I should reflect on today about self-love?
Reflection question. What would change in my life if I started treating myself with the same patience, kindness, and understanding that I so freely give to the people I love? Take a quiet moment and let that question settle into your heart. Many of us have learned how to be compassionate toward others. We forgive a friend's mistakes. We encourage a family member after a failure. We comfort someone who feels lost. We know exactly what to say when someone we care about is hurting. But when it comes to ourselves, the voice often changes. Instead of encouragement, we hear criticism. Instead of patience, we demand perfection. Instead of compassion, we replay our mistakes over and over again. Why is it that we are often kinder to strangers than to ourselves? Self love is not about believing that we are perfect, it is about accepting that we are human. Being human means making mistakes. Being human means getting tired. Being human means sometimes feeling uncertain, afraid, or overwhelmed. Yet somehow we expect ourselves to be immune to these experiences. We believe we should always know the answer, always make the right decision, always be productive, always be strong. That expectation is exhausting. Imagine if someone you deeply loved came to you and said, I failed today. Would your first response be, You're a failure? Probably not. You would likely say, It's okay. Everyone fails. What can you learn from it? Now imagine saying those same words to yourself. That small shift could change your life. One of the greatest acts of self love is changing the conversation you have with yourself. Your inner voice becomes the soundtrack of your life. If that soundtrack is filled with criticism, guilt, and disappointment, then even your greatest achievements may never feel like enough. But if that soundtrack becomes one of encouragement, honesty, and hope, you create an inner home where you can grow instead of merely survive. Think about a young child learning to walk. The child falls again and again. No loving parent says, That's it. Walking isn't for you. Instead, they smile, hold out their hands, and encourage another attempt. Growth has always included falling. Somewhere along the way, many of us forgot that truth. We started believing that every mistake was proof that we were not good enough. But mistakes are evidence that we are trying. Growth has never required perfection, it has always required persistence. Self love also means giving yourself permission to rest without feeling guilty. Our culture often celebrates constant busyness. If you're resting, some people assume you're wasting time. But rest is not laziness. A heart needs rest. A mind needs quiet. A body needs recovery. Even nature understands this. There are seasons when trees produce fruit. There are seasons when they appear still. Neither season is wrong. Both are necessary. Maybe you have been judging yourself for not moving as quickly as others. But your journey isn't supposed to look like theirs. Flowers don't compete with mountains. The ocean doesn't compare itself to the sky. Everything in nature grows according to its own design. Perhaps you can do the same. Self love also asks another important question. Who taught you that you weren't enough? Was it a careless comment from years ago? A difficult relationship? An impossible standard? A comparison that stayed with you longer than it should have? Many of the beliefs we carry about ourselves were handed to us by other people. But just because we learned them doesn't mean we have to keep believing them. Today can be the day you begin replacing old stories with healthier ones. Instead of saying, I'm not enough, try saying, I'm still growing. Instead of, I'm behind, try, I'm on my own path. Instead of, I always fail, try, I'm learning. Notice that none of these statements deny reality, they simply tell a more complete truth. Self love is honest. It doesn't ignore weaknesses, it simply refuses to define a person by them. Consider this: your value has never depended on your productivity. You were valuable before your biggest accomplishment. You remained valuable after your greatest mistake. Your worth is not something you earn, it is something you recognize. The more you understand this, the less you will need constant approval from others. Compliments become appreciated rather than necessary. Criticism becomes information rather than identity. Success becomes something you enjoy rather than something you desperately chase to prove your value. That is freedom. Perhaps the greatest gift of self love is peace. Not because life becomes easy, but because you stop fighting yourself. You become your own companion instead of your own enemy. Imagine ending each day by asking, not was I perfect, but did I treat myself with kindness today? Some days the answer will be yes. Some days it will be no. Either way, tomorrow offers another opportunity. Self love is not built in one dramatic moment. It grows through countless small choices: choosing to forgive yourself, choosing to speak gently to yourself, choosing to rest when needed, choosing to celebrate small victories, choosing to believe that you are worthy of care, even while you are still becoming the person you hope to be. As you finish today's reflection, take one slow breath and ask yourself, if I truly believed I deserved the same kindness that I give to others, what is one small thing I would do for myself today? Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for yesterday. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains your energy. Maybe it's simply looking in the mirror and saying, I'm still growing, and that's enough for today. Whatever your answer is, don't let it remain only a thought. Turn it into an action. Because self love isn't just something we feel, it's something we practice, one gentle choice at a time.